turn now to page 24, Shalom Aleichem. We welcome Shabbat with light and welcome Shabbat messengers of peace. The Shalom Aleichem, page 24. advantage of the fact that you're standing to wish someone Shabbat Shalom, take a few steps, maybe introduce yourself to someone that you haven't met before. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to continue with the Psalm for Shabbat, Psalm 92, which you may find on page 22. Page 26, Chetzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חונוב יומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
Please rise as you're able for Baruch Hu, page 28.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhma poteach she'arim v'tvuna mishana itim u'machalif et hazmanim misader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono v'rei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla u'mavdil bein yom uvein layla Adonai tzvaot shemo El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu V'Olam Va'ad Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amecha avta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Vahem negeh yomam balayla Ve'ahavatecha al tasir mimenu leolamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema
Seated. Continuing with Ve'ahavta on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anuchi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot b'neinecha u'ksavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher chotzeiti etchem ne'eretz Mitzrayim, lichyon lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Mi Chamocha is on page 40. If you turn to page 40 and look towards the bottom, you can see that there's footnotes, and it shows where the different parts of Mi Chamocha come from. And the first three are from Exodus chapter 15, that is the Song of the Sea. So Mi Chamocha is right there in the Song of the Sea, and it is our redemption song. We're going to sing it tonight in two different ways, both Miriam's song and the I guess we'll call it Moses' song.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot osel feleh, norah tehilot osel feleh. Malechutecha ra'u v'anecha, ukeyayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze elianu ve'amru, ze elianu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, uge'alu miyad chazak bimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
With Hashkivenu on our minds and in our hearts, asking God to spread over us a shelter of peace, a Sukkot Shalom. As night falls and we begin to feel like we might need more protection, comfort, warmth. We think especially of those in our community and our family or friends who are in need of healing. We ask for God to spread over them a refuah shlema, a complete healing of body and spirit. Lot Ackerman, Dale Anderson, Julie Arnheim, James Barrett, Les Berkowitz, Alex Botkin, Jennifer Burnow, Joey DeLuca, Dina Damas, Joanne Mandel DeWitt, Ann Fay, Jessica Fondy, Virginia Frank, Stuart Gall, Mark Greenberg, Amanda Goldstein, Richard Gordon, Wayne Hunkel, Richard Can, Naum Kaplan, Sylvia Kasparowski, Al Camper, Ruth Leff, Isabel Leindecker, Susan Lother, Beatrice Jean B.G. Morrison, Marco Masksara, Fred Oringer, Lev Podorowski, Charles Rosenblum, Jonathan Robeson, Harold Bud Roth, Oliver Scheibel, Bill Stein, Drew Tomasi, Helen Marie Tyree, David Wallach, Dr. Malcolm Weiss, Claudius Willis, Ralph Wise, Elizabeth Yakirva Olga, Yehoshua Ben Yehudit. Other names for Misha Bara? Yishaberach Avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarivkach Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivarech v'Rapeh et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill.
Baruch atah Adonai hamoreh sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
And on the top of page 44, we sing together V'shamru and remind ourselves of our covenantal agreement with God to celebrate Shabbat. Turn to page 46 now for the beginning of the tefillah, the opening meditation. Please rise as you are able.
Open up. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel HaChadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot u'Mevii Geula Lifnei Bneihem Le'man Shemo Me'ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atara B'Hoshia Mashi HaRuach U'Mori HaGashem Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim Somed Noflim V'Rofeh Poholim Uma
may be seated. Continue with the tefillah silently up until page 60, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki atahu melech Adon Nechol HaShalom. Ki atahu melech Adon Nechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael v'cholei tufosha b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
So I just have a few brief comments, actually. When I'm finished, I'm going to invite Rabbi Friedman to come up he's going to be like the little postscript at the end with a presentation to make. But really, I'm going to let the music speak for itself tonight. Just wanted to make a note that in this week's Torah portion, so it's called B'Shalach, the Israelites are freed from Egypt. And you can imagine, I think like in the movies, it tends to be very clean, or in the Haggadot, it seems very clean. Everyone's marching in rows. Everyone looks like they took a shower. I just kind of can't imagine that was the case, right? We are just having escaped this terrible plagues, and there's death, and there's destruction, and there's hunger, and there's fear, and there's a lot of drama and a lot of trauma. And we're leaving Egypt. We start to run, and Pharaoh and Pharaoh's army comes after us. There's this dramatic scene, and the Israelites manage to cross the Sea of Reeds, and because Moses can, actually God splits the sea, but Moses puts his arm out. They walk through the dry land, and then, like in that picture outside on the wall, the Egyptians drown, and it's really messy and muddy, but yet the Israelites have the presence of mind and the presence of heart and spirit to sing at this moment. And so they sing, as I mentioned, this song that's in the Torah reading, this very long song, The Sea, and at the end, this little coda of Miriam's song. And so that's why we call this Shabbat Shirah, why we make we put an emphasis on our music, and we sort of think about the ways that we can express joy, we can express relief, we can express all different kinds of things through music. It's interesting that Moses' song is the one that begins, and it's part of a traditional Jewish liturgy. If you pray every day at a conservative synagogue, you'll pray this song every single day. It begins, Az Yashir Moshe. Moses and the people of Israel sang this song to God. They said, I will sing to God, the highly exalted. The horse and his rider were thrown into the sea. That's the first thing that we hear. So we know that there's been a lot of drama, there's been a lot of pain, this is what they've just witnessed, but still, in spite of all of that, they have this moment of song. And at the end of the whole song, it's split, you can see it's split in the Torah, looks like you're crossing the sea. Then it's just like it says, and by the way, Moses and women sang this song. It says, Miriam the prophet, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel, maybe that's a tambourine kind of object, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. Miriam sang to them, sing to God, the highly exalted, and she sings too, the horse and his rider were thrown into the sea. So we're left with a lot of questions, but the first one is, where did they get the timbrels? Where did they get them? They were taking a lot of things with them, but they had that, but when you think, again, going back to that scene, here we are, we're scared, and right, there's this terrible thing going around us. There's darkness, not in our places, but everywhere else we can see it. There's destruction, and they're getting ready to leave in a hurry, and yet they pack their timbrels. The Midrash says that the women were so confident that there would be redemption, they took timbrels out of Egypt. Or as one writer puts it, faith is packing your drum. If you know that if you have faith that there's going to be a miracle, if you have faith that there's going to be something miraculous, then take your drum. In other words, be prepared for a celebration. Be prepared to express that kind of joy. There's also a midrash that says that while they were, the last couple of weeks while they were waiting to go, they made their own timbrels and drums, which is also nice. In any rate, they felt so hopeful and they were so optimistic that they packed their instruments, that they prepared for this deliverance. And beyond that, they also knew that the people would need to rejoice together. There would be this moment that everyone would need to feel, that there would be such exuberance, there would be so much relief that they would need to express it together. And so this is a big moment of celebration of all the people. And in fact, we don't hear about another such a celebration for a very long time, maybe if ever, in the Torah, because this seems like the last time there was like harmony and melody and that people were playing their instruments, and it was a glorious event. I think it's especially important to know that even they knew at that moment that there was this redemption, but they didn't know what lay on the other side, not only of the sea, they hadn't got there yet, but once they get out of slavery, then what, right? Like, there's a lot of unknowns there, that they still had that kind of optimism, and then they also knew that there was a long journey to go. So that makes me think that in our own lives too, we can celebrate not only the big moments, but also, even when we're not 100% sure what's coming next, we can still take the time to acknowledge this particular moment, and we can rejoice in that one. And we can be prepared for miracles and miraculous in our lives as well. So one lesson of Shabbat Shirah is celebrating a milestone. One is preparing to see glory and to see majesty and to see miracles in the world. And one is to celebrate a milestone even when we know there is more journey to come. And then I would say the last lesson for tonight, because there's many, is understanding the value of music and understanding the value of song, and that it can express what our words cannot. So with these two lessons in mind, tonight we celebrate the first 8 years of Rodef Shalom, and we thank all of you, members of the choir, for all the beauty and soul and spirit that you have brought to us, even as we know you will continue to bring devotion and delight in the years to come. So we're celebrating this moment on the journey, fully aware that and hopeful and optimistic about all the years that will come. So just a little poll. We've been together for 8 years. How many of you have been in Rodef Shalom since the beginning? 1, 2, 3. Since beginning. 3, that's pretty good. Oh, 4, okay. Almost since the beginning. So we are grateful to each one of you. We remember Molly May, who got you started in this iteration and who sort of brought you to the place, and to Don, who picks up the baton, and but not only serves as the sort of interim choir director, but he serves this congregation with deep commitment to the sanctity of liturgy, and he serves us with great joy and purpose. We're also full of gratitude for Sarah Nadler, who's singing with us tonight. Sarah, thank you for your voice, your spirit, and your presence. And I have to say, Dawn told me that you were going to be nodding, like a very gentle little nod, so that everyone would know when to stop, and it's working beautifully.
Oh, good.
It's working really well. It's very subtle, but it's definitely there. And also we look forward to, in several months, in welcoming a new cantor into our community as well. And I said there were 2 reasons to celebrate, and that is that I'd like to just to acknowledge, Natalia, that we are celebrating your bat mitzvah, celebrating this moment and your journey. And even as we celebrate this moment and we hold it up and we put a lot of focus and attention on you, and you teach us and you will lead us tomorrow, we know that you have a lot of growing left to do, and we continue on the journey, and we, as your community, pledge to stand alongside you as you continue your journey into adulthood and beyond. And we're very happy to be with you today, as well as to be with you in the future. So with that, I'd like to invite my colleague, Rabbi Friedman, because he has a presentation to make to you. To you, Natalia.
So shameless plug, my Dvar Torah is in the Jewish Chronicle this week, and we are on the same wavelength because we're both wondering what is going on. We both were like, we've talked about the water splitting, it's over, it's good. So we both talked about that other side. So what were they doing over there? Clearly a musical, right? They all just broke out in song. They all knew the words, I don't know. But I sort of also thought about, like, what was that like when you got out and you're looking at your whole life ahead of you? And so this bat mitzvah that you are having is a little moment where you can pause and imagine your future life, certainly your future Jewish life. You do not have to have it all figured out. You have help over there who will help continue to guide you. But becoming a bat mitzvah is a moment where you say, this is mine. All this is mine, and what do I want to do with it? That's really the tricky part, right? We give you the heritage. What do you want to do with it? So I have here a little gift for you. It's your first one. Yay, me. So I get to give you your first gift. It's a water bottle. It's got the JJEP logo on it because swag, and it has a Shechianu on it so that you will always have the blessing of what to say at wonderful moments like this wonderful moment. So Mazal Tov. There you go. Thank you. We're done.
Another time, I will take a look at other ways that we can rejoice besides singing. Because as you know, like, that's not my strong suit, but I'm also looking for ways to express joy. And I was thinking, and it didn't get put into Dvar Torah, but I was thinking about how those of us who are not particularly musical, but what might we do to for celebration, and what might we do to just sort of have fun and to play. And so I'm gonna, because I didn't get to that, it was just sort of, it felt too big for me to sort of tackle today, but I would invite you to think about ways that you could, if you're not a singer, if you're not a dancer, I will never dance. If you're not a singer, not a dancer, how is it that we can express our joy along the way as well? So we'll turn now to Aleinu on page 282. Please rise as you are able.
האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגמור עלינו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינת זו בגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Kaddish is on page 294. Please remain standing as you're able. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died within the last 7 days. Sam Angelo, Nathaniel Friedman, Rita Rosenberg, all of them were buried within the last week. Mina Cavalier will be buried tomorrow. On Sunday. We also remember those who died within the last 30 days. Joan Hallahan, J. Lambert Hornstein, Marjorie Rosendale Landay, Max Stadler, and Harold C. Weiss. We think of those who died at the season in years past and whose yahrzeit we observe on this Shabbat: Lillian Lodsberg Berkowitz, Betty Bragg, John Costelli, Edward Clateman, William Cohen, Craig Kudin, Anita Dubner, Sidney Dubner, Philip Epstein, Leo M. Fisher, Emmanuel Friedberg, David J. Ginsberg, Esther Ginsberg, Stanley H. Goldman, Frederick Gottlieb, Joseph Karsh, Vilya Kurdish, Martha K. Labby, Francine K. Lefkowitz, Barbara B. Lesser, Judith Levinson, William Mitchell, Harvey Moen, Edward F. Perlman, Jonathan Perrin, Louis C. Proviano, Sawachara Ratanabanyat, Fred Rock, Alan Selig, Edward R. Stillwagon, Zena Usyk, Albert Weiss, Pearl Weisfield. Are there any other names for Kaddish tonight?
February 1st marked the yahrzeit of Daniel Pearl, who was brutally murdered by Al-Qaeda fanatics. It's also, this week was the anniversary of the Columbia shuttle explosion, which killed all of the astronauts.
Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for blessing. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, v'yamad yivrachu te v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'galav v'yisman kariv rimu, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach leolam olmeya almaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasa, V'tadar, v'talev, v'talal, shmei de kudusha, berchu. Leila, min kol birchata v'shirata, tishbechata v'nechamata, tamiran b'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huyaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. You may be seated. So thank you again, Rodef Shalom. Thank you, Don, and thank you, Sarah. Thank you to Luke up there, who is working the sound and light. Mazel tov to all of us on the 8th anniversary of Rodef Shalom. Mazel tov to Natalia and her family. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning as you become a bat mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom to everyone who's in the room and who's with us online. Just one quick announcement, if I could find it. Oh, here it is. On Sunday, Sunday is Tu B'Shvat, the New Year of the Trees, and Dor Chadash, Rodef Shalom, and Tree of Life are joining together for an afternoon of different activities, beginning with a Seder, a Tu B'Shvat Seder, and it will be followed by a discussion with Grow Pittsburgh. So we have the mystical, and we have the environmental, and we have the eco-friendly craft, so it'll be something for everyone, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And I think that's my only real announcement. So we will conclude our service with Adon Olam on page 321, and then we'll invite Natalia to the bima to lead after. No, not yet. Well, you can come up if you want, but you're just going to sit here. Here, we'll sit over here and we'll sing Adon Olam.
Adon Olam, Hashem Adav, B'terem Bo, Yitzir Nivrach, Nidnasa, V'chetzon Kol, Azai Melech Shmo Nikra, Ve'aharei Kithvot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hove, Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara, Ve'hu Echad
Page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'achava u'ratzon, hilanu, zikaron l'maaseh b'reshit, ki hu yom techila, lemikra kodesh. Zecher l'yetziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'chata, ve'atanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kadshecha, ve'achava u'ratzon, hinhaltanu, baruch atah Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah
Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lecha min haaretz.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
This is useless.